Well, good day, viewers. Today we have a 2012 Ram 2500 HD with a 5.7 Hemi, and it's here because the fuel cap light's been coming on and the check engine light's been coming on. According to that, it's due for an oil change, but not according to the sticker, so maybe somebody didn't reset it last time. See, the check engine light is not on now, and the fuel gauge is empty, which is not good for me to do evap testing. He mentioned something about a purge line being collapsed. I think he was saying he was having difficulty filling the tank, but I'm going to double check that. So this is a new vehicle recording. It's got 207,000 kilometers on it roughly. I'm going to do a code scan of all controllers. See what it has to offer. P0455 Evap system large leak. Looks to be about it. 16 controllers. 19 controllers, and that's the end of the recording. Seat horizontal control circuit performance, and the memory seats and the audio antenna not connected. Well, let's put this thing up in the air and do a visual inspection to start with. So it turns out that this vehicle was in here back in May with a P0456 457, and I replaced this ESMI switch assembly. Now the customer did say that he's having difficulty putting fuel in the tank, and if you look up here, where's the vent? You can see that plastic vent line is collapsed. That's unusual. I don't know where that goes. It would be nice if it went right to the charcoal canister. But I would think if that vent line is collapsed, it must be purging when it shouldn't be purging. I'm going to look and see where that line goes, because I hope I don't have to drop the gas tank here, but very well might have to. It'd be nice if it was this line here. Let's look at the system setup. So the purge solenoid lives underneath the battery tray right here. I've got the line disconnected. You can see the two little blue clips, squeeze them in, and you can wiggle the line off by pushing it down. And I've got a vacuum gauge connected to it, and I still have the electrical plug connected, so I'm going to start it and see if we have that solenoid is leaking, drawing vacuum on the tank. So as you can see, there's no vacuum on that line right now. Got a serpentine belt knife. Let's see if this gauge is reading 0. Now it's purging, so that's normal for it. But why did it go up to 20 inches of vacuum? That's unusual. There must be a restriction in the vent. Let me disconnect the solenoid here if I can get the wire off of it. So I've got the electrical plug disconnected. And it's still drawing vacuum through that solenoid. Oh, I didn't let the vacuum out. So once it's... Okay, that thing's been through, so let's plug the solenoid back in. Oh, that stupid belt's going to drive me crazy. Put some silicone spray on the belt. So I plugged it back in and it's not purging now. We gotta put some dielectric grease in this connector. So the purge valve is currently being commanded off. So the tests are inconclusive. It was probably being commanded on after a start there. And then when I disconnected the electrical connector, it didn't bleed the vacuum off because the hose is sealed here. So I'm not sure yet. This test is inconclusive. I'm going to command the purge solenoid on. Okay, I'm going to command the purge solenoid on now. Okay, now I'm going to command it off. Off. Let's see if there's vacuum still leaking through it. No. So once I bleed the vacuum off, it's fine. So that valve seems to be working okay right now. What would cause that vacuum, that vent line to collapse like that? That's a pretty rigid line. I can't find any cases on this. So I've actually teed the vacuum, my light just shut off, teed the vacuum gauge into the system so that I can watch it, see how much vacuum it builds. So let's start it and see what happens. There it is running at an idle. It's not purging right now, I'm sure. Give it a sec, see if it'll start purging. I got the solenoid electrically plugged in and I got the 3/8 hose teed into it. Just a piece of 3/8 pipe. Well, I'm going to command the purge solenoid on. Commanded it on purge vapor test. You can see, I'm going to take the gas cap off and see if it loses vacuum. That's interesting. Now I wonder if it stopped. Funny, it was commanding it on, and it's still commanding it on, yet it went back to 0. Put the gas cap back on, and we don't have vacuum again. Unless that purge test only runs for a few seconds. There it's back to 10 inches of vacuum again. Or actually 5. So what caused that hose to collapse like that. That's unusual. Okay, that time I didn't touch anything, so there must be the system only runs the test for so long. I'm going to try commanding it on again. Yeah, it only runs the test for so long. I'm going to take the gas cap off. So take the cap off and put it back on. Well, without having another truck to compare this to, I don't know if this test is functioning normally or if it's got a restriction in the system. I'm going to see what happens when I shut the truck off if it moves back. Yeah, it appeared to lose vacuum right away. Well, again, I don't know what's caused this collapsed vent line. So I elected to drop the gas tank because I couldn't see up there. And if you leave the fuel line and the vent line connected and unclip them from the frame, you can drop it like this. You could drop it about 4 inches and get up there and wiggle this connection off the fuel pump. Now this line is no way that line is collapsed. That line is melted. Either chemically melted or melted from heat, and I can't explain why it would be like this, but that is not collapsed. Now this line was missing the clip at this end, and there was a tie wrap on this filler pipe, so I think this has been apart before and somebody's been working on it. I don't know what, maybe some chemical, maybe acetone or something. I'm going to take this off. So there's that vent line off the tank. It's probably the pressure sensor, although I didn't see a PID for fuel tank pressure. So I'm just going to cut this line here and put a piece of hose in up to there. These Houdini clips are a pain in the ass. This clip at the end here. There's the tank back up installed. That hose clamp on the filler pipe, and the hose is a bit of a pain. Make sure you put dielectric grease on the hose to slip it on easier. So there's my piece of 3/8 fuel line in there. And we're going to run it to the service station now and put some gas in it, see if it fills properly, and then do a purge and purge vapor test. Well, I put 17 liters, 18 liters of fuel in it. It's about 1/8 of a tank. And it filled no problem. As fast as I could put it in, it went in. So I'm going to run an Evap test if I can with the scan tool and see if it passes. So I'm going to try to run this Evap monitor test. It'll let me. Let me rerun the test, turn ignition on. Okay, not running. Okay, so I turned it off, key on, continue. Now it wants me to start it. Evap test in progress. would fail, that would be a bad thing. So we're going to call this one fixed for now, and we'll give it back to the customer. I really believe that hose was not collapsed, because it would take a tremendous amount of vacuum to collapse that hose, and the gas tank would collapse instead. So that's it. Thanks for watching.